ka whangaia, ka tupu, ka puawai. That which is nurtured blossoms and grows. Nā mihi nui kia koutou, we are the Rupu WSL for Te Kura Tuarua o Onekiritia, Hobsonville Point Secondary School. Our focus as a team this year has been on positioning Te Reo Māori to have equal mana in all that we do at HPSS. This is part of a larger and more complex goal of working to collectively facilitate and enhance culturally sustaining practice for teachers as part of developing a bicultural curriculum and kura in accordance with Te Tiriti. Our starting point on this journey was to engage with our colleagues and collect data on their understanding of culturally sustaining pedagogy or CSP and how this compared with their actual practice. Our findings confirmed our hunch that our staff wanted to engage with Te Ao Māori more, but weren't. 68% of our staff at HPSS did know the meaning of CSP and its importance in our classrooms, but at the same time, they felt whakama to engage Te Ao Māori more deeply in their teaching. 38% reported only using tikanga sometimes. 35% reported using Te Reo Māori regularly. We wanted to change that.
To shift the competence of our staff on all these metrics and have them reach a point of feeling competent and successful was something we knew we couldn't achieve in the space of 1 year. So instead, it was decided that since Te Reo Māori is the thread that binds all other aspects of Māoritanga together, it should be the first area we work on building our colleagues' expertise and confidence in, and so that it would become normalised and embraced by our kaiako and tamariki alike, and would be visible throughout the school. So we started the year with a whittle, or a challenge. By the end of the year, we wanted our colleagues to use tukanga whakaaro, our new bilingual learning design model, more about that later. We also wanted them to pronounce kupu Māori or Māori words correctly, use greetings or farewells in Te Reo Māori, use simple instructions in Te Reo Māori, use subject-specific language in Te Reo Māori, and use karikia appropriate for certain occasions, be able to perform waiata and have a deeper understanding of pōhiri. We shared this whittle with our staff as we introduced them to Tukanga Whakaaro, our new bilingual learning design model. HPS's learning design model is a core part of our philosophy of learning. It must be visible in everything we do, and we must be specific in our expectations of our learners and what they will achieve in a given lesson. So if we wanted to make progress in our goal of Te Reo Māori having equal mana in everything we do at HPSS, then this was an ideal place to start.
Tukanga Whakaaro was created by our WSL team, and we had to give careful consideration to how we translated English kupu for often very specific definitions into Te Reo Māori, a task made difficult at times in that direct translation between languages is not always possible. So we worked with our staff to share our whakaaro behind why we had decided to do this and what our expectations for them were. We then worked with them to try formulating sentences in Te Reo Māori using tukanga whakaaro that equated to a learning objective they might set for a particular class. So the feedback from our staff on this session and the expectation that they would now use bilingual learning objectives in their everyday practice was really encouraging. Some staff told us that it was important to try Te Kōrero in Te Reo and not put it on pause due to being insecure. Others reflected on the importance of not being weighed down by Pākehā paralysis, which is the fear of approaching aspects of Māoritanga in case one gets it wrong or offends in some way. Some, though, did question why we would create a model which drew on terms that could only be used in limited contexts when we should be using commands, phrases and terms that had wider applicability. Always up for a challenge, we pledged to do just this in future professional learning sessions. Unfortunately for us though, COVID-19 had other plans that would mean we weren't able to do this. As well, the multiple lockdowns impeded our desire to visit a wide range of kura in Tamaki Makaurau in order to see how they approach weaving culturally sustaining practices into everything they do. This remains an area we wish to pursue in 2022 in order to challenge our own thinking in our journey of greater integration of CSP, as well as to learn from others to observe best practice.
We've only been able to touch on a couple of important moments that occurred this year on our journey to enhance the mana of Te Reo Māori at HPSS. However, empowered by the kaupapa of why we wanted to increase the mana of Te Reo Māori within our kura, our staff have eagerly taken up our challenge, with the results clearly visible. Staff have widely adopted using tukanga whakaaro and setting their learning objectives for classes, and these can now be seen on whiteboards and in Google Classrooms. We view this as a success, as being challenged to operate outside of your own comfort zone can be uncomfortable and even unwelcome. Our kayako are bravely trying new kupu all the time, and are even attempting to translate key documents and rubrics that relate to their learning area into Te Reo Māori, where appropriate, to highlight its importance. Staff have created their own lunchtime Te Reo Māori game club, where anybody willing to participate can come along for kai and tākaro. We see subject-specific kupu more regularly in classrooms and planning documents, and staff are even attempting to try phrases such as whakarongo mai and kua marama, or listen to me and understood. Various staff are engaging in Te Reo Māori and tikanga courses with tertiary institutes in their own time, in an effort to improve their own language skills. Together, we've been able to learn new waiata together, and we will continue to do this as we share knowledge with our staff on the tikanga surrounding pōwhiri. We might have only taken the first few steps on the journey to enhance CSP within our kura and enhance the mana of Te Reo Māori, but we remain excited about what the next parts of this journey could look like. Something that greatly assisted our inquiry and that we are thankful for was the unwavering support of our SLT in taking our school in this direction. Bringing them on early in this journey and being clear about why this was important meant they were with us from the start. We remain convinced that the following whakatauki remains true for our kaupapa. E hara taku toa i te toa takitahi, engare he toa takitini. My success is not mine alone. It is the success of the collective. No one gets there alone.